In France, respect around food is clear. Though great consideration goes into purchasing and preparing food, French recipes don't need to be difficult. I really adore home-style French cooking. Coq au vin is one of these dishes that most people think is really complicated, but it's really just chicken cooked in wine. And it's got mushrooms and onions and aromatic herbs, some bacon, and lots of wine, obviously. So what I want to do, I've got this gorgeous big pot here. You do need a pot that's got a lid on it. I'm using baby onions. If they're really small, like this little cutie, then that can go in as a whole. And if you can't find any little onions, well, don't cancel the coq au vin, for goodness sake. Just grab a big onion and chop it up. Fair few of these, because I think everybody on their plate probably wants at least one or two of the onions. So let's get my big pot nice and hot, and then I'll put my butter in. Putting about a tablespoon, something like that. Just throw my onions in. I just want to get those nice and sort of golden. And as well, I'll also put my bacon in here. It's a lovely big rustic kind of a country dish, this, so we're not being too pedantic. We're cutting things quite roughly. There's no fine dice going on today. It's what I love about the French. They're not too worried about a bit of fat in there. In fact, they have a phrase, fat is flavour. And it's true. Oh, look at that. It's that beautiful bacon that really adds the depth to coq au vin. That's what I adore. Just 2 stalks of celery. I'm just going to chop that in half and just chuck them in like that. And we're going to pull them out at the end. It's just to give that flavour. Okay, so let's do our mushrooms. I like to take the stalks out of my mushrooms. And the way to take the stalks out easily is just apply a bit of pressure and they just pop out. And I'm going to just put these mushrooms in whole. My mushroom does take a lot less cooking, so I do want to separate these 2 cooking processes. So I'm going to take these out of here and then I'm going to throw my mushrooms in there. Same pan, no washing in between, love the no dishes. So I am just going to add a little bit of oil to that, just a little bit of a drizzle in there. And I really adore this dish because you can do it for one, or you could do it for a really large group of people. Now, we've got beautiful thyme and these lovely big fresh bay leaves. You can easily get away with using dried herbs, no problem at all, just use slightly less. So what I'm going to do is throw them in whole eventually, and then I can just, you know, pull them out at the end, but they will have lent their flavours to the whole dish as it's cooked through. All right, my mushrooms, I'm happy with those. They're not cooked all the way through, that's fine, they're going to go in later. I just wanted to get them sort of with a bit of flavour from the bacon and the onions. So let's pull those little babies out. Oh, look at them. So I now want to brown my chicken off. You can buy chicken pieces if you like. Cutting up a chicken is not nearly as hard as it looks. And all you do is take it straight down that breastbone. And I'm just going to chop these up into sort of good portion sizes for each serving. And here's our drum. Off we go. There's another portion. And I always use the carcass for a chicken stock as well. So there we've got lovely portions of chicken, and what I now want to do is brown these off slightly. Cooking with my ears, I often do this. I want to hear the sizzle and I want it to be quite a harsh, loud sizzle, if you like. Great. And at this stage I'm just trying to get some colour on the chicken. I'm not interested really in cooking it all the way through. That's going to happen when we've got all those other lovely flavours in there. That's good. Let's get the rest of it in there. Oh, you can just see the flavour going into that with the bacon and the onions and that celery. Celery's a really wonderful vegetable for giving soups, stocks and casseroles an incredible depth of flavour. But it'll just add a really beautiful note to your dish. In goes my thyme. Coq au vin means literally rooster in wine. It was when they used to have these old roosters that were a bit tough, and in order to make them edible, they would just throw them in a pot, a few vegetables in there, and of course a good slug of wine. Now I need to add in some chicken stock. You just want to add enough. It's just going to cover the food in there. That's probably enough. And let's throw our mushrooms in there as well. So now it's all in there. You've got that beautiful red wine, you've got the stock, the chicken, the mushrooms, the bacon, it's all going on. Lovely little onions there. The lid goes on. I'm gonna leave that for about 45 minutes. It's on a moderate simmer. Nothing is gonna go wrong in there. It's just all those flavours having a little party.